A happy afternoon, wherever you might be watching us. Welcome back to a new edition of the LosAlamitos.com preview show. I'm your host, Jose Contreras, alongside the voice of Los Alamitos, Michael Reynolds. Michael, happy Thursday afternoon to you. How you doing?
Doing great. Just a bit of multitasking, a little preparation for this preview show segment, and a little preparation for a cruise I'm taking this weekend for a week. So there's some packing going on and a few other things getting organized here in the background. So Ed Burgart will be in the booth this Saturday night and Sunday night.
Nice. We'll be happy to have Ed Burgart, and always thank you to Ed for being available. For step up to bat and join us here this weekend. You'll be off calling this. You'll be off from calling the races this weekend, but you'll be back the next weekend, right?
Yes, just missing the one weekend. I'll be emceeing the PCQHRA Awards Banquet tomorrow night, Friday night, and then onto the ship Saturday morning.
Sounds good. Sounds like a great plan. Best of luck to your Kathy, bankroll manager, on the trip. I know she needs a little bit of luck as well. Looking forward to maybe some stories after we get back.
Yes, mate. No doubt the casino on the ship will get a little bit of business.
That's the spirit right there. Shout out to Kathy there for keeping us entertained here with our stories back and forth. Saturday night, January 27th, we'll be talking about this card, but also this weekend is the Winter Series trials. We have trials for the Winter Derby on Saturday night, and then we'll have trials for the Winter Championship on Sunday night. We'll talk more about those trials with both Orlando Gutierrez, and also we're going to talk about one specific trial with you, because your selection for this show is in one of those trials for the Winter Derby this Saturday.
Yeah, the first of the three trials, the seventh of 9 races on Saturday night. These 3-year-olds will be over 400 yards, and I'm going to the outside post position with number 7 BP Cartel Policy for Monte Rosa, a horse who began his career in Oklahoma and actually qualified to the $1.2 million Heritage Place Futurity, finishing midfield in the final. He had no luck in a pair of races at Ruidoso over the summer, when favoured on each occasion, and then shipped west and joined Arosa's barn at Los Alamitos. We'll take a look at his first of 2 local races, which was an allowance on October 21st, when he was sent off odds-on favourite and disappointed those who took the short odds. But it wasn't a bad effort. A couple of things factored in.
Yeah, and here it is, the replay, October 21st. He was odds on, like you mentioned, and he was here in gate number 2.
Yes, and he bobbled as the gate opened. He didn't really begin all that flash.
Right there.
A little bit awkward. And then the rail horse who wins begins to drift across his path. The jockey didn't really have to stop riding to any great extent, but the horse did get hindered somewhat with that rail horse shifting ground, and you'll get a glimpse of the gallop out here in a couple of seconds. The horse, there he is on the outside there, heading into the lead around the turn. It was a strong gallop out by BP Cartel Policy, and I also had made a note that there was no local gate work for him leading into that race. Now, subsequently, he was 4th in a 2 million futurity trial in November. In that race, he broke outwards pretty sharply and had a heavy bump, and then finished evenly to be 4th. Since then, Jose, he's been gelded, and he comes back with a fast local gate work, which we'll take a look at on the morning of January 6.
Yeah, and here's the workout that we're going to show here for this one, and it was back on January 6th, like you mentioned, and it was a solo work, actually. I'll bring it up right here. Here it is, solo workout. This was January 6th, and I presume he's already been gelded by this work. I'm not so sure about that, because the DRF PPs do show when the date. We don't have the DRF. I don't have the DRF PPs in front of me, but he is listed as a first-time gelding coming into Saturday night's race. But here's the solo workout. What you see here in this work?
Well, I saw him begin straight. I like that very much. I like the way he got out of the gate, much better than in either of his 2 local races under the lights. He was drifting in. in the second half of the work, but he clocked a very slick 12.1 seconds for 220 yards. And keep this rolling, Jose, because I loved the extended gallop out. Very strong and stylish all the way around the turn to the back stretch. He was keen to do more. I love that part of the workout also, apart from the good getaway from the gate and the overall time of 12.1. I think he's heading in the right direction. He gets the outside post position as a first-time gelding, and I think BP Cartel Policy at the second wagering choice 5-2 odds is ready to step up. I think this is the time to jump on board. A pretty talented horse who's still on the up. Armando Cervantes rides for the first time. It's an interesting little switcheroo in the saddle because Jesus Ayala, who had ridden him in both of his Los Al starts, is the rider of the morning line favourite, number 3, Rockin With Energy. But of course, Cervantes is usually the first call jockey for the Arosa barn. I'm not reading anything into this. It's just something of note, something of interest that Cervantes gets on my horse. Ayala will ride Rockin With Energy, who, by the way, is a finalist. She's one of 3 nominees for Champion 2-year-old filly in the awards ceremony that we'll be having tomorrow night, the PCQHRA 2023 awards. So she's very good. She ran Political Rivalry to a neck in the Ed Burke Million Futurity. There's no question that if Rockin With Energy gets out of the gate in good order, she'll be very, very tough to beat. But there is always that little question mark, isn't there? She's not particularly reliable in the first few strides, and she's 6-5. I just prefer my horse at 5-2 with the clear sailing down the outside.
And I do want to mention that Henry Lopez again was injured in a spill that happened. What is it? Was it 3 weeks ago? It might have been 3 weeks ago. Henry Lopez did see him on the racetrack visiting there, but he's recovering. Hopefully everything goes speedy with him. He comes back. Jesus Ayala did pick up a few more mounts for Paul Jones last week, including the flashy winner, Terrific Energy. So Ayala taking more mounts here for Paul Jones and Rockin With Energy. An old friend of ours, I just got to mention the one, Kickin' Famous. He's an attractor price tonight. He's an old friend of mine. He's an old friend of yours. I believe he was your pick in one of the, maybe last time out. I thought he ran very well. I think he's 8-1. That's an attractive price. But again, he's been kind of nibbling in minor slices.
Yes, and he was very good from the rail, draw 2 starts back, missing by a skinny margin. So he can handle gate 1. And yeah, he's an attractive price.
So that's a look at race number 7, the first of 3 Winter Derby trials on Saturday night. 10 fastest qualifiers, 10 fastest times of the night will advance to the final. And then and that's a look at the first of those 3 trials. BP Cartel Policy is my Corona selection for Saturday night. So I wanted to recap the plans for this week. You'll be out of the booth, but Ed Burghardt is chomping at the bit to come and help us out. So he'll be filling in for you for these 2 race cards, Saturday and Sunday night.
Yes, and he'll have some high-quality horses to call. I know he's excited about returning to Los Alamitos, and management and fans alike are always excited when he does return, whether it's filling in for you down on the FanDuel TV set or for me up in the announcer's booth. He hasn't lost a step in either regard, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy the weekend's race calls.
It's always great to have that great quality DH that we can just call up at any moment to come in and give us a boost there and take the baton from us whenever we need a little bit of a respite. So, all right, BP Cartel Policy, 5-2 in the morning. And look, the outside post has been beneficial, so I'm sure you like that as well.
Yeah, suits me fine. I think it's a good thing.
All right, get ready for that award show. Are all the rehearsals done, or you still got some prep work to do?
No, we've had a couple of rehearsals. Hopefully all goes smoothly. Looking forward to the occasion very much.
Sounds good. Get ready for that. Get ready and packed up for your cruise. Have a good weekend off, and we'll see you next week. And actually, next week, we'll have Ed Burghardt fill in on the show as well for you. As you have a nice week off, refreshed up, and we'll talk to you next weekend at the races on Saturday night.
Okay. Thanks, Jose. Hooroo.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos, with the trials to the Los Alamitos Winter Derby and the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship January 27th and 28th. Top sophomore Optical Illusion and Rockin With Energy will lead the Winter Derby trials. Plus, we'll give away the popular Los Alamitos wall calendar. On Sunday, defending winner Apollitical Pence will head the Winter Championship trials. Plus, Super Derby winner Jeriko and Grade 1 winner Scoops Dynasty will also be in action. Quarter horse racing's best, always at Los Alamitos Racecourse.
That's right. It's already time for the Winter Series. How about that, Chris? It just seems like we wrapped up last meet and we're already about to end January. It goes by that quick. So Winter Series is here. We'll have the Derby trials on Saturday. Winter Championship trials on Sunday night. Welcome back to the program here. Christopher Wade, your Los Alamitos analyst. Chris, how's your day going here so far?
It's going pretty good. We have some nice little numbers in Louisiana Downs today. So we do Louisiana and try to keep it going with Los Alamitos this Saturday evening of racing. And got some good ones, I think. So
yes, you got some good ones. We'll talk about those Derby trials with Professor G later on in the program. But we're going to race number 5 where you have a selection this time around. It's a horse that was entered in last week's canceled card here. But we're going back to race number 5, 1,000 yards, maiden. Good purse of 16,000. These are freshly turned 3-year-olds. And a few of these ran against each other. But I know you like the looks of the 4, Pika House.
Yeah, this is a horse who didn't show too much in the debut, but he came to Los Alamitos and ran much better than looked. He had a stack of trouble throughout, and he showed some run. And finished relatively well with everything factored in. So on the numbers, he has a big look at the outcome with expected improvement and hopefully a better getaway and cleaner trip.
So here's the replay from January 7th. He was just under 5-1, 9-2, almost 5-1 in this spot. Field of 9. He was in gate number 6. And this was a pretty bad stumble coming out of the gate, right?
Yeah, he broke very slow. He bobbled, was bumped back, lost multiple lengths, and was basically last away from the gate. You see him take up a little bit more here, away from the barrier and kind of slowing his stride. And he was way, way back. You couldn't see him for the longest time. You see how far back he is. You can't even see him.
And he is trying to make up some ground into traffic here.
Yeah, he's making up some ground.
Yeah. You could argue that he probably should have been a clear second, right? Maybe would have been a threat for the win, maybe with a better break.
Yeah, he certainly could have. He stumbled. He showed a good amount of speed. He made a nice run to the back to reach somewhat contention. Then he's in close quarters a little bit again and under a tight hold. But he showed some run late, and he finished pretty well. With all factored in, all that trouble, this horse ran very, very well in the Los Alamitos evening debut.
And this was only his second lifetime start. His first start at 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
and I know you like when horses make their second start at this distance, right?
Oh, certainly. Second time on the Los Alamitos Oval, they always improve immensely. You can see this horse gallop out with the winner despite having all that trouble. So there's ability there, and he's got a big look at the outcome with a clean getaway.
So we'll review here race number 5. There, he's actually, even though he's 5-2, he's actually the third choice on the morning line. And the Rose to the 1. Thirsty Gambler is not a 5. Both of those horses met each other back on December 30th, so they kind of already raced against each other once before.
Yes, and his horse will definitely move forward there as well. He's got to look at the outcome along with, of course, Pika House, my choice, and Peppertine's got some interior speed, and he has Lasix.
And the hottest rider on the hook right now, Diana Escobedo, on the 1. He's been on fire, on a roll.
He certainly has. He's been doing very, very well.
Yeah, and last week on the show I mentioned I might have been last week or 2 weeks ago when I mentioned to Professor G, Chris, I was like, we're no longer going to get prices on Diana Escobedo. Lo and behold, he keeps winning at prices because he's doing all the right moves with some of these horses.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's just people don't know him. It takes a while, but he keeps winning like he does. They're going to know who he is, and those prices will come down continually.
Yes, they will. So Peppertini on the rail for Angie Aquino, then Escobedo, Thirsty Gambler for Keith Craigmont, Carter Ramirez. But you're going with Edward Freeman and Francisco de Rojas Pika House. It looks like a 3-horse race as far as what is going to get bet. And I think there's plenty of intrigue here in this race number 5. It is not part of the early pick 4 or the late pick 4, but it is part of the pick 6. And the pick 6 will get underway on race number 4. So that could be a key leg for the pick 4 sequence here at Los Al. So Pika House, your selection in race number 5. Simulcast analysis. When can that begin? When will you pick up some extra work there for the simulcast signals?
It's a lot of extra work because at Remington Park they started sometime in March, and they have a lot of 2-year-olds and watching all those tapes. And we come up with some good ones on occasion, and off those morning preps and so on. But I'd say start in March. Remington Park kicks off the simulcast season.
Yeah, that's when some of the most other simulcast signals will begin, and Chris will begin doing that analysis as well for LosAlamitos.com, and also the Nine Lines print edition as well. All right, Chris, best of luck with Pika House. Let's hope for a cleaner break and improved effort based on that trouble replay that we just saw. Yeah,
let's just hope he gets away clean and does what I think he can do. He's got a big look at the outcome in that 5th event, second leg of the Pick 6. All right, have a good rest of your evening this Thursday afternoon, and we'll see you this Saturday at Los Al. All right, boss, you have a good night.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos, with the trials to the Los Alamitos Winter Derby and the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship January 27th and 28th. Top sophomore Optical Illusion and Rockin With Energy will lead the Winter Derby trials. Plus, we'll give away the popular Los Alamitos wall calendar. On Sunday, defending winner Apollitical Pence will head the Winter Championship trials. Plus, Super Derby winner Jeriko and Grade 1 winner Scoops Dynasty will also be in action. Quarter horse racing's best, always at Los Alamitos Racecourse.
Yep, it's that time of the year already, talking about the Winter Series. Professor G. Orlando Gutierrez, Director of Marketing and Publicity at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Welcome back to the program. How are you doing here tonight?
Really well, Jose. It's going to be a pretty busy weekend here at Los Alamitos. On Friday, we have the awards banquet, the PCQHRA Awards Banquet. We're going to be handing out a lot of trophies and hardware to our well-deserved horsemen and owners and horsewomen and jockeys and so forth. Campaign in 2023 here at Los Alamitos Racecourse. That's going to be a fun evening, that on Friday night. And of course, we got big night of trials on Saturday. We got some trials on Sunday night as well, with some of the top names in the country competing in the Winter Championship trials. I know that you've already talked a little bit about the Winter Derby trials that will be happening on Saturday. All in all, it should be a really good weekend here at Los Al.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Again, Michael Renner will be off this weekend. He'll be off on a cruise. He will be the MC for the banquet awards on Friday. Then he'll be off Saturday, Sunday. Ed Burghardt will be in town calling the races this Saturday and Sunday night. Looking forward to talk to him as well. We'll have Ed Burghardt on the previous show next weekend as well. We did talk about the first trial with Mike Corona, Professor, because he had a selection in race number 7. But why don't we glance at races 8 and 9, the other 2 trials for the Derby here on Saturday night?
Yeah, and a nice group of horses, 22 in total, Jose. The final is going to be worth over $174,000. They'll be coming back on Saturday, February 17th. Like you mentioned, 3 trials on tap. You already talked about trial number 1. Let's take a look at trial number 2. This is race number 8, 400 yards in this race. And again, some really nice names in here. One of the horses that won a stakes race already here at Los Alamitos, number 6, ready for it, coming off of a kind of a troubled trip last out, but already a stakes winner here at Los Al. Remember, John ran in the Los Alamitos Million Juvenile Invitational, a $50,000 race. And also from the inside, Angel Soul did as well. Angel Soul running 3rd in that Juvenile Invitational. That's my pick, Jose. I'm going to go with the 1, Angel Soul. All in all, I think really quick out of the gate, really good speed, and competing against the top 2-year-olds here at Los Alamitos. Last year, I think the Angel Soul is going to find this spot really nice for her abilities, I should say. I'll go with the 1, Angel Soul, in race number 8.
Yeah, I did like I liked Angel Soul on debut when she went off at 5-1. She's obviously, I think, still has room to improve based on only 3 starts. I went with the previous class of Ready For It. I went Ready For It, Angel Soul, and Boardwalk. So I do like those 3 in that order. Boardwalk, Professor, we know that pedigree very well. Favorite Cartel out of Nymph. There's been tremendous siblings there out of that family line, and they've all gotten better with age and distance. So there's a case to be made that there's more to give for the 2 Boardwalk.
Yeah, when this horse made his debut, really nice effort there, won by a length. And even then you could tell that, this horse can get better Didn't quite happen that way for Boardwalk, but last out, solid second place, made up a lot of ground late. Like you mentioned, these horses start striding out as they get older. Coming off of a nice layoff, Jose has not raced since the trials to the Governor's Cup Futurity. That was back in July, and came back with a solid workout. They gave him a drill from the gate at 350 yards. They've actually given him a couple of drills at 350 yards, just continuing to develop that distance, that ability to finish. This horse, like you said, as he gets older, these longer races are going to fit right down his alley. I did pick them third. He's my third choice in this one. I went with Angel Soul. I went with the outside horse, number 7, Remember John, and then with Boardwalk as well. But this, all in all, this trial, very competitive. You mentioned the family that of Boardwalk with that cross of Favorite Cartel and Nymph. Grade 1 winner, Sicario V is one horse that comes to mind. Monopolis and Frivolous, both of them won Futuities as 2-year-olds, and then came back and ran really well as 3-year-olds. Frivolous recently won the Dashingly Stakes here at Los Alamitos. Remember Monopolis, how good he was during that 3-year-old campaign? I mean, he was just demolishing fields during trial races as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, Monopolis is the one that comes to mind just as a full sibling in recent years. He was second twice to impress him. He was the only horse he couldn't get over the hump, but everybody else, he was really a flashy brother to Boardwalk. So a lot of siblings there. Nevada Charles, Nymphet comes to mind, another one. I mean, just the bloodlines on the 2 Boardwalk just is kind of telling us that there's more to give for this gelding. So watch out for Boardwalk at 8-1. So I'll go ready for it. Angel Soul and Boardwalk as my top 3 in racing breed.
And just got to give a mention to Attacked. Out of Attack the Cartel, the mother of Train Station V, and also Attacker. So another really nice mare. If you look at this group of horses in this race, and you look at the mares, the brood mares here, you got Nymph, you got Attack the Cartel. Mama's Dynasty is a stakes winner as well. Up For It has produced a lot of stakes winners here at Los Alamitos. And the 7, Remember John, Dynasty Atoll, BRZ, the mother of FDD Dynasty, and so many really good horses here at Los Alamitos. This, from a mare standpoint, as good a race as you'll find.
Yes, it's like the Golden Mares, and this is like the Golden Mare Invitational. Like that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is here in Race I'm Right. All right, race number 9, final race on Saturday night, the 3rd division of the Los Alamitos Winter Derby trials, 400 yards. We do have a 6-5 more 9 favorite, an Optical Illusion. Broke through the gate, Professor, just like Train Station V did, and they both ran 1st and 3rd. Giant efforts by both of them, and Optical Illusion did it from the outside post.
And in that race, actually had the lead. Really fast at the gate. Optical Illusion had the lead for a little bit, and of course, Train Station V just started rolling. What a big race favorite. 5 Bar Supreme ran in the 2 million trials, just tremendous. And Optical Illusion settled for a really nice 3rd place finish there. And what a quiet but successful season this horse had. Qualified not only the Los Alamitos 2 million Futurity, was also a qualifier to the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity and the Governor's Cup Futurity as well. Not too many 2-year-olds last year qualified to 3 Futurities here at Los Alamitos. Optical Illusion, Paul Jones training this horse. Paul Jones is going to have a really nice stack of 2-year-olds in these trials. Rockin With Energy, who ran 2nd in the Ed Burke Million, leading the 1st trial. You got Optical Illusion here. And also Kevin's Weiss Corona, another horse that Paul is going to settle in this one. Kevin's Weiss Corona running 3rd in the Ed Burke Million Futurity last season as well. I have to give a look as well to number 8, Luxury Brand, Jose. A horse. How about this? We're talking about those bloodlines.
Yes.
A half-brother to Flashback, the winner of the Champion of Champions, Jose.
Yeah, and winner of that Invitational, the championship at Sunland to begin the year as well, defeating KJ Desperado and impress him once again. He is listed as a first-time gelding, Luxury Brand is, and he's been a fairly good horse out of the gate, Professor. He draws the outside post. This is an ideal post for Luxury Brand. He's listed at 2-1 on the morning line. But getting back to Optical Illusion, just qualifying to those big races and making it to third and 2 million. He's almost $250,000 earner in 2023. That was a tremendous season for Optical Illusion. Shout out to owner Jim Schlegel. I know he was a big fan of that marathon show we did for the trials, where we had a guest handicapper for every trial. He was a big fan of that show. He really liked it. He stopped by the set and gave us good reviews on that. And then you have some interesting prices. A Nitro was scratched maybe a few weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
I thought he deserved a look based on that 12:30 workout dating back to October. Obviously, he's making his first start, but high percentage barn. Eduardo Nicasio gets the mount here. He's an interesting long shot. I think at 15-1 to be in the vertical exotics here, exactus and trifectas.
Yeah, and thing about this horse Nitro, the last work that he had December 12th here at Los Alamitos, he did it with a flipping halter, Jose, and he stood perfect using that flipping halter. But they're taking it off for this race, and I can't remember if in that race that he was scratched, if he had the flipping halter in that race. Another horse that has the flipping halter is Luxury Brand, and he actually worked with company. He worked with a horse that Move On Over, a horse that was in trial number 2, race number 8. Move On Over actually finished ahead of Luxury Brand, but they both went really good in that race. Move On Over went 12 flat. Luxury Brand went 12.1, and they both looked pretty good doing it as well. Luxury Brand did drift in a little bit there, angled in once he got going. But looking forward to seeing Luxury Brand from this spot, finishing the money every single time last year. Looking forward to seeing Optical Illusion from that from an inside post. Last couple of races, he's been running from an outside post, and I can still remember. I think in one of those trial races, I think he lugged out big time. Ended up almost on the outside rail. Remember that?
Yeah, that was like his coming out party, and I'll highlight it here. That was back on May 28th, excuse me, on trials. On that trial, he lugged out badly all the way to the outside rail. If he would have kept a straight path, he would have won easily. Yeah, and you can tell he was still making a little bit of mistakes here and there, but obviously he's got the talent. He qualified to plenty of big races, so he still has room to improve as a 3-year-old here now tonight. So yeah, that was his coming out party back on May 28th, where he really showed plenty of ability despite lugging out badly towards the outside.
Yeah, so that's a nice, interesting post move for Optical Illusion. So, and again, another really good trial, some nice horses. Let's see if Kevin's Weiss Corona, who looks so good to start his career, he's kind of flying out a little bit last few starts. Again, facing really good competition here. Ran 5th in a trial to the 2 million against a horse that qualified to the 2 million, AB6 Corazones. And that horse, the race, the Holiday Handicap, that was a pretty solid race. Asher, the nice filly, ended up winning that one. Kevin's Weiss Corona ran 4th. Let's see if this horse can kind of turn that look around. It's got Jesus Rios Ayala, a new rider riding him for the first time. Let's see how Kevin's Weiss Corona does. First start as a 3-year-old.
All right, so I'll go Optical Illusion, Luxury Brand, and Kevin's Weiss Corona is my top 3 there.
Same here with Optical Illusion and Luxury Brand as my top 2 runners in this one. And Roar Like a Lion. I like Roar Like a Lion as well.
All right, Roar Like a Lion. Roar Like a Lion for Mr. Johnny Trotter. Jose Flores, he made a good impression getting his maiden diploma win back in September. Before we, so that wraps up the trials. And before we move on, kind of preview what's to come this weekend as far as championship trials. I do want to mention a horse that I like in last week's previous show. Obviously, was scratched because of the canceled card, but I'm going to go back and mention him again. He will be in race number 2. And I got to back him once again, Professor, because these races were redrawn. Yeah. But I got the luck of the draw that I got the outside post once again. I'm talking about Cathedral Light, race number 2, 4.5 furlongs, Cathedral Light. I liked the outside post last time out. By the luck of the draw, he got it again. And I think tonight, on Saturday night, he might be able to work out a good trip. He got floated out a little bit too wide last time out. I think that might have been the difference between, he was the betting favorite. And he wasn't really able to get the job done. He finished 4th, but I thought he was still trying to show some run. So I'll give him another look. Cathedral Light, race 2, 3-1. That's the horse that I liked from last week's cancel card that I like once again.
Yeah, from that canceled card, I think 4 or 5 of the races came back very, very similar, maybe a change here or there. But if you did some handicapping, getting ready for last Saturday's card, you kind of have an early jump on this Saturday's card because several of those races are very, very similar. I believe the second and third race from last Saturday are the second and third race this Saturday. So, there's a nice also an allowance race number 6. That would have been race number 9 last Saturday as well. So again, you have a little bit of an early start on your handicapping if you looked at the card last week. And you can't forget, Jose, this Saturday, one of our most popular giveaways of the year. We're going to give away the Los Alamitos wall calendar with your paid granted admission. So for just $3, we offer free parking as well. You also get this nice, beautiful calendar here at Los Alamitos. And of course, you get to enjoy the trials to the Los Alamitos Winter Derby. I can still remember, Jose, your old office. You always had that nice calendar behind you.
Yes.
Golden Boy and all those nice runners back then. I can still remember that, Jose.
Yeah, so now it has been relocated to my right-hand side. So on my right hand, I have that calendar right here on the right-hand side. So that's why sometimes during the show, you notice if I look to the right, that's where the calendar sits, and I'm able to verify my dates. There's a few good photos there from the calendar. And, of course, there's a look at some of the highlights of the calendar as well. So that's the giveaway for this Saturday night with your paid admission. Pick up a Los Alamitos calendar for 2024 as we're getting ready here for the Winter Series. All right, so that's a calendar giveaway Saturday night. Sunday night, Professor, we do have the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship trials. It looks like we're going to have a split, right? 2 trials for Sunday?
Yeah, 2 trials for Sunday. 12 total. 12 total will be going to the trials. Compact group, but, man, the quality there is just outstanding, Jose. So let's start out just going through some of these runners here. Apollitical Pence won this race last year. Ageless, a timeless horse, continues to rack up win after win each year. Let's see if he can repeat as the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship winner. He will be headlining the night as well. Don Lazaro, solid runner. He's been in stakes races in the past. Future Version, Jose, won the Governor's Cup Derby last year, and actually posted a workout. So if you want to check that out, I haven't looked at it just yet, but I will be doing it later tonight. But Future Version did have a gate work on the same day that Boardwalk had a gate work. I believe it was January 9th, I want to say. He's chickless, so fast out of the gate when he's on his game. Also finished the year winning the Ransom Handicap. He's chickless. He's going to be in this group. I can still remember Muniz, and he's a dash of fire competing in the trials to the Winter Championship. And, of course, he's chickless. Will carry the same silks that the great Muniz did. Jeriko, the winner of the Los Alamitos Super Derby, just an outstanding runner, always here in the winter as a 2-year-old, as a 3-year-old. Now let's see him at the start of the year as an older horse. Jose, London Toby, Grade 1 winner last year when he won the Spencer Childers. He also posted a gate work. We'll be checking that out as well and posting our notes on that gate work on losalamitos.com. Mahomes Magic dances every dance. Here he is again.
Yes. Yeah, he's been the one I've been chasing for a few starts, Professor, because he's so game. He's always in the mix of things. He's been unlucky a few starts, but he's been in some of the biggest dances throughout his career.
Absolutely. That's why I paused there, because I know he's a horse that you always keep an eye on. Marcelo for EG High Desert Farms. Did he run second to He's Chickless? He may have run second.
Yes.
He's Chickless late in the year. Mr. Racy Perry, another horse that posted a gate work. We'll be posting our notes on those gate works later tonight. Nevada Charles, another solid competitor. Runs in a lot of the stakes races here at Los Alamitos. Scoops Dynasty. And with a little bit more luck, Jose, Scoops Dynasty wins, 3 Grade 1 races last year here. He did win the Go Man Go. And how about Take a Swig of This? Won the Winter Derby last year and is going to try to complete the series and sweep the series winning the Winter Championship. Let's see how he does here. Take a swig of this. So there you have it. 12 runners, all really outstanding older horses.
Yeah, quality top to bottom. These are just listed in alphabetical order. We'll know those post positions and the draw later on tonight. So that's a look at the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship trials, the horses that we could expect in those two trials. And the top 10 will advance to the February 18th final. So we are on pace here to look ahead to those Winter Derby finals and the Winter Championship as well. And that'll be our first major Grade 1 event as far as for the older runners as well. Looking forward to, a lot of horses want to already start and prepare the road for the champions.
Absolutely. This race is one of those that we get to see the winner usually compete in the Champion of Champions, and always a nice advantage for that runner because they kind of can start then really planning how they're going to be at their very, very best in mid-December. If they get this race under their belt, they can maybe take a little break. Maybe they'll go to the Vested Maturity, then take a break, and then work towards the Robert Boniface Los Alamitos Championship. So it's a nice advantage if you get that early victory that can set you in a nice pace for the Champion of Champions.
Yeah, you can plan out the rest of the year knowing that you have a spot in the big one. So, yeah, it's a great advantage if you can get it this early in the season. So looking forward to those trials and, of course, the final as well. That wraps it up pretty much for the show this weekend, Professor. Any news on when we can expect Mr. Edberger to be boots on the ground there at Los Alamitos?
Well, I'm expecting to have a drink with him on the night of the PCQHRA Awards banquet. So hopefully he makes an appearance there. Looking forward to seeing the great Ed Bergar there. And, of course, he'll be in the booth this Saturday and Sunday night calling these outstanding races here at Los Alamitos.
All right. Thank you so much for all those updates, Professor Z. We'll be stay tuned for all the happenings here at Los Alamitos. You can go to losalamitos.com to check out everything that's coming up here at Los Alamitos. Have a good rest of your Thursday evening, Professor. I'll talk to you this weekend down at Los Alamitos.
You too, Jose. Thank you so much. Thank you to the racing fans.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos, with the trials to the Los Alamitos Winter Derby and the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship January 27th and 28th. Top sophomore Optical Illusion and Rockin With Energy will lead the Winter Derby trials. Plus, we'll give away the popular Los Alamitos wall calendar. On Sunday, defending winner Apollitical Pence will head the Winter Championship trials. Plus, Super Derby winner Jeriko and Grade 1 winner Scoops Dynasty will also be in action. Quarter horse racing's best, always at Los Alamitos Racecourse.